Okay, and we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 34 of the MTVM Podcast. I am your host, Diego Coya. I'm excited to be here, like always. We don't have that many topics today. I feel like this week has been kind of slow in terms of entertainment, but we do have a couple of topics today. Some pretty exciting ones, especially today. Some couple of things have dropped that are important, so I'll definitely be talking about that. And yeah, let's go ahead and have another great episode tonight. So, would you guys like to do your introductions?
Hey, what's up, you guys? Tom Fandle 599 here again. We're here for the MTVM Podcast. We are on episode 34. There shall be another exciting episode here today. We got some topics for you guys for here on the show, and it shall be another exciting episode.
Yes, indeed.
And it's your boy, Andrew
Skinny
Hayes.
penis.
No, that was a one-time thing. But it's your boy, Andrew Hayes, episode 34. I believe this is one of 4 episodes left.
Yes, after this episode, it'll be 3 more episodes. So
All right, so getting down to the series finale.
Yes.
I feel like we are the freaks and geeks or fireflies of podcast.
We got canceled way too soon.
But even though the network didn't cancel us, it's like I'll put it this way. I'll make it better because that was wrong. I feel like we're the True Detective season 1 of podcast. We were just so great for so long.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yes.
All right, so let's get right to it. Oh, well, I'll say hello to people in the live chat first. We have Sammy, Aaliyah, Brian, and Jackson. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoy today's show.
This episode is brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
Indeed. All right, so the first thing we're going to go over, like usual, is movies. So I have only 3 movie topics today. 2 of them, which actually were dropped today. So first one I want to talk about is the biggest topic, I think, of the week in terms of movies, because this is actually really important and really big for movie fans.
It's huge.
Oscars. It's huge, yeah, like how Donald Trump would say it.
It's gonna be huge.
So the Academy Awards, the Oscars, they are, quote unquote, the most important award show for movies. You know, they're like, when it comes to movies, when you say you won an Oscar, you know, it's like a really important thing. So the Academy Awards announced that they're going to be doing something different. Actually, they announced 3 things they'll be doing different. So I want to talk about those. I want to talk about my thoughts. I want to hear what you guys think of this too, because I'm sure you guys know about this. All right. The first thing that they're going to be changing in terms of the Academy Awards is, 1, they're going to make it shorter. They're going to make it 3 hours long, because there's been a lot of complaints, and it's a complaint I've had with the Oscars, that the show is just too damn long. And it's not necessarily that it's too long, but that it's the show just can't keep up being entertaining throughout the whole runtime. It's like a lot of times it drags and it gets boring and yada yada yada. So I guess they've listened to a lot of people's complaints over the many years, and now they're going to make it only 3 hours, which is still long, but it'll be shorter than usual. So that's the one thing that I'm kind of like, okay, this isn't a terrible idea. All right, next thing they're going to do is they'll be doing, in order to make it shorter, they'll be also announcing Academy Award winners during the commercial breaks. So when the commercials are on, they'll be announcing, you know, the Oscars, like some other categories. They didn't say which ones yet, but kind of like what the Critic Choice Awards does and some other TV awards shows.
I know the Tonys really do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So basically, we won't be seeing every award on, you know, when the show is on, every award given. And the biggest thing I think the change that they've made,
They done goofed up.
yeah, well, probably the most stupidest thing I would say is there.
Oh, you can go. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was gonna say they're having a new category, the best popular movie of the year. So they're basically doing another Teen Choice Awards, Critic Choice Awards thing that they're doing, and yeah. Now, here's the thing. here's my problem with that category. The way I see it is that the Oscars tend not to nominate these kind of movies, these blockbusters, these quote unquote really popular films that audience and critics really love. And it's like, why make it its own category where if they actually love the movie, why not just nominate it for its respective categories? Why make a separate category for that?
Yeah. And it makes no sense either because popular movies like these have been nominated before. All 3 fucking Lord of the Rings movies were nominated each year.
And we've had like Mad Max Fury Road too for Best Picture.
Yeah, and Get Out. So it's like we've had popular movies. The Silence of the Lambs, like we've had like these really popular movies be nominated. So it's like it's weird like that they all of a sudden want to do this now. I find this very odd. And just a way to grab in more viewers, because I know their ratings have been down in recent years. So this would be, I guess, a quote-unquote good way for them, but not really.
And to reach towards more of like the younger audience. Now, I'm just not for the idea at all.
I'm not either.
I stand the Academy Awards, and I feel like these new changes, I feel like the change I kind of agree with is making it shorter, which that's something. But the whole popular thing, and I guarantee it because they're so predictable, and I'm calling it right now. And you can quote me on August 8th, 2018, 8:07 p.m., episode 34, with 9 viewers right now. Black Panther will win Best Popular Film of this year.
Yes.
And it's not even because they think it's the best. It's going to be because of, political, reasons.
And like you said on Twitter, if this category happened this year, Wonder Woman would have won easily. Would
have been so stupid, and no disrespect towards Wonder Woman. Like, it was a good movie and all, but come on. Like, Logan was, to me at least, the best movie of the year. For me, at least, it could be quite possibly the best movie of the decade. And at least for me, it's at least one of my top 15 movies of all time. So you're telling me that, that would have been stupid. I would have been, like, pissed.
Yeah, and again, it wouldn't have been because they thought Wonder Woman was the best movie. It just would have been for political reasons, like they do most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm not feeling this new changes, honestly, except for like making it shorter. But I don't care because I'm not watching them. I took a vow when I watched the recent Academy Awards that I'm saying, I'm not watching this ever again. It's too long. It's too political. It's boring. It's the same old thing over and over again. I mean, some surprises, yeah, but for the most part, it's the same old shit. So
I can tell you, last year, at least for the big awards, I don't think I was surprised for any of them.
Yeah. The only one that I was happy with that kind of caught me by surprise was The Shape of Water winning Best Picture because I thought
which made this boy very happy.
Listen, I knew that was gonna win. People fucking, I said it since the day I fucking saw it that Shape of Water was gonna win fucking Best Picture at the Oscars.
I don't remember ever saying. I swear to God, I don't remember.
I said it. Fucking.
I said that shit. I called that shit I called that shit, and everybody was calling me an idiot for it. And guess what? Who the fuck is laughing now, you motherfuckers?
I wasn't fucking calling you an idiot because I knew
Not
it was
you.
I knew.
Well, I had no idea, but yeah, I don't. It's dumb.
It's dumb. Just put it that way.
All right, so I'll go move on with the next topic because not really much else to say except that there could be other categories they could nominate, like best stunt work.
Yeah, that's what pisses me off. Like I saw this on Twitter, and I 100% agree with it. And I don't want to go looking for the tweet because I just don't have that kind of time. But I saw a tweet that said instead of like making this bullshit Teen Choice Awards category, they should have legitimately added Best Stunt Coordinator and Best Casting Director.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Those two I think would be a more appropriate and better choice than most popular film.
I also saw the other two that I also saw was best the other one that I saw that someone said possibly they could have added instead was a best motion capture performance.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, or the best voice acting, whatever,
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, I do feel like, because voice acting is different than just regular acting. Same with motion capture performances. Like, it's different.
Yeah.
And legitimately, if they had it, Andy Serkis would have like 1 billion Oscars by now.
True.
To be 100% honest, he would have one for fucking all the Lord of the Rings films, for King Kong. He would have one for Tintin. A lot of the Apes movies. He'd have like at least 10.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go move on from this topic and talk about something else. So today there's been a rumor that dropped, and again, to emphasize, this is only a rumor, but I do want to talk about it. Just want to hear what you guys think. This is regarding Star Wars Episode 9.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we got this covered.com, again, which is why I'm very heavily emphasizing on rumor, is saying that Disney is considering splitting the last Star Wars movie, Episode 9, into 2 movies. Yes. Now, they don't know. It's not really said why. If the movie's just going to be really long, they're just going to do 2 movies, or if they haven't started editing yet. Again, this is just a rumor, but this is something that kind of caught my eye because this is not the first time this happened. We've had a 3rd chapter be divided into 2 parts. And I know a lot of books have done that. Like movies.
We've seen it recently with Infinity. Well, yeah, technically we could say Infinity War because technically it's, splitting that story into 2 parts. So we've seen it with that.
Mockingjay,
mm-hmm.
Part 1, Part 2, Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, so we've definitely seen at the Twilight movies. We've seen
Twilight film. Yeah, the most recent Twilight film.
The
Hobbit.
No, well, yeah, The Hobbit, but I was gonna say The Hunger Games.
Yeah, I said that. Mockingjay.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Oh, jeez.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So yes. So if this was true, and again, I'm very heavily emphasizing that it's a rumor only. If it is true, I don't know. I'd just rather have it be 1 film. Unless J.J. Abrams feels like it's absolutely necessary to make 2 parts, then sure. But considering the fact that I'm not even too excited for this movie, it's like whatever to me. So do you guys have any thoughts on that?
I would rather just stick to this being a trilogy. I really don't want it to be a 2-part movie. If they need to make it really fucking long, then go ahead. If it's necessary for it, then go right for it. If you need to make it really long in order to do so, I just don't want it to be 2 parts. I think it will kind of ruin not ruin, but will kind of mess with the just kind of the feel that Star Wars have of just having 3 movies in the saga, rounding it up in 3 movies. Like, It just wouldn't make sense to me. I'm highly looking forward to Episode 9. It's like one of my it's probably like my 2nd most anticipated movie of 2019. I'm heavily excited for it. So hopefully it's good. I just don't want it to be divided into 2 parts. I think if they need to make it almost 3 hours, then go for it. I would much rather have that than have it be divided into 2 parts.
Yeah. And you have any thoughts about that, Andrew?
I think that it would be stupid to split into 2 parts because, I mean, while it has worked in the past, more often than not, it hasn't worked. The 2 big examples that I could think of when it hasn't worked and would have been better for these movies to not be as split up as they were. The first one that I think of is Mockingjay, because both movies had like no substance to them, and they were just long and drawn out and just weren't good. I felt
especially Part 1, because I felt like that one was just boring throughout.
One movie. And put that together, it possibly could have been a more interesting story. The second one is the Hobbit movies. I mean, and granted, I really like the first one, and I think the second one is really, really good. The third one, not really, but still. I think it would have been better if it was split up into 2 movies rather than 3, because I feel like putting it all into one is too much. So that, yes, it needed to be split up, but it didn't need to be split up into 3 movies. It could have been split up into 2 movies, with the first half ending where towards the end of where Smog is, where they get in there for the first time, and then like the third one starting from there, and obviously ending where Battle of the Five Armies ended. But an example of how it worked, I think potentially, and because we haven't seen Chapter 2 yet, but is it? I think that is going to be something that benefits from splitting it up, because my biggest problem with the TV movie is that they it got very sloppy towards the end, and it felt too long. While in It Chapter 1, and like the best part about the TV movie was the kids, and It Chapter 1 was just all kids, and it gave time to properly flesh out the kids more and whatnot. So I mean, unless they absolutely need to, I just don't see this ending well.
Yeah, and another 2 I could give a big example for. One possibly, because we haven't seen the next installment, but I think Infinity War, I think will benefit.
Yeah.
I think we'll benefit from this, because that is a long-ass story. So the fact that that was something that did need to be split into 2 parts.
Or I think the biggest example is Deathly Hallows.
That's what I was going to say next. Deathly Hallows, that was something that did need to be split into 2 parts, because that is a long-ass book. So, and to benefit from it big time, I think, because part 1 was a nice development, I thought, and then once you got to part 2, it was a nice conclusive finale. Like with the examples that you gave with the Hunger Games franchise, that's not what I felt like. I felt like part 1 was a good build that led to nothing, I felt like. So, yeah, hopefully, like I said, I really don't want this to happen. I don't think there would be anything really necessary to split into 2 parts, but who knows? But I would rather much stick it to just being a 3rd movie.
Yeah.
I 100% agree, because it kind of already feels like they're splitting this up into 3 parts, obviously. But there's no need for a 4th part.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll move on to my last movie topic for tonight, and that is regarding a movie that was supposed to be coming out next month, but it's not anymore, and that is City of Lies.
Oh, that's one of my topics, so let's do this.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
City of Lies, and this was announced about 2 days ago, for those of you wondering. City of Lies is a new film coming out, well, was supposed to be coming out next month. It starred Johnny Depp, Forrest Whitaker, and it tells the story of these 2 detectives trying to solve the cases of Tupac and Biggie Smalls. So it was announced that they pulled it out of the theaters, like they pulled it out of the schedule. Now, they didn't say if they canceled the movie totally or if they're going to release it sometime in the future or if it goes straight to Netflix, but all we know is that it's been released and no other information has been released. They didn't even make a statement of why it was pulled out, why it wasn't released. A lot of people speculated it's because of the controversy Johnny Depp has been going through for the past year or so, where, he was accused by domestic violence by his wife. And actually, he apparently beat up a crew member in City of Lies or something. There's like a whole lawsuit going on. So there's something going on behind the camera that we're not sure of. But some people speculated that could be a big part of why this movie is being taken out. Who knows? But Johnny Depp is coming out with Fantastic Beasts in November, and that is, going to be a box office success without question. And that he's like a main part of that. So who knows? Maybe there's a completely other reason. Who knows? But in terms of how I feel, because I've talked about the trailer City of Lies a couple of episodes ago. And I was not a fan of the trailer. Despite the fact that the story sounds really interesting, I thought the trailer itself was just very bland. It looked uninteresting. It didn't look like a good movie to me. It doesn't really bum me out. It's not like a movie I'm really anticipating is canceled. It's not like Bohemian Rhapsody is pulled out of the schedule. We don't know
dude, I would legit.
Like, oh God, help us all. But it's City of Lies, so I'm like, okay, I could care less. My safest, what I think might happen is that it'll probably go straight to Netflix, and then we'll all just see it that way. So yeah,
that's probably.
What do you guys think of this?
That's what's probably going to happen. It's probably just going to go straight to Netflix. I hate to say it, but that's probably what's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think so too.
I wouldn't be surprised if we hear soon.
Hey, Kevin, let's wrap this.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see City of Lies coming to Netflix.
City of Lies. Are you shining just for me?
All right, now, I mean, I wasn't too hyped for the movie or anything, so this doesn't bum me out really. But okay, whatever. But it is pretty funny that it got pulled from theaters before it was supposed to come out.
Yeah, crazy.
Yep.
What about you, Angie? You have any thoughts?
I remember when I first found out about this movie. I'm 99% sure it was on this podcast. And I had asked what City of Lies was about, and I was told what City of Lies is about, and it sounded like something that should have been really interesting. But I guess it's not good.
Yeah, I guess not.
I mean, I really don't care because I just, again, no excitement level there.
All right.
If it like something like New Mutants, that's something that not got canceled but got pushed back. Like I kind of feel like, oh man, that was a bummer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but now I'm not even that excited for the movie anymore because all the production issues. I'm like, this is probably gonna be like Fantastic Four. So, yeah. That's all I gotta say for movies tonight. So, Double Nine, if you have any movie topics, you can go ahead and share them.
Let's go, bitches. I have two. So here's some news that made my nipples hard earlier. Hasbro is apparently developing a Power Rangers sequel.
Woo! Yay!
So for a while, I remember a couple episodes ago, I was discussing this a little bit too, because what I thought was going to happen was, now Hasbro bought the rights to Power Rangers. Now they have the rights to the Power Rangers. And I heard news that they were going to maybe reboot the Power Rangers again, and then instead of doing a sequel. So now apparently that's out the window, and they're apparently developing a sequel to the 2017 movie, which makes me happy, because I love the 2017 movie. I thought that was great. So the fact that a well-deserved movie is getting a well-deserved sequel is great news to me. So, I don't know exactly when this will come out, but right now it is in development, which is good. So that means that cliffhanger at the end of the film is not for nothing. So hopefully this could be good. Hopefully we get Tommy and Lord Zed into this shit. So yeah, I'm excited. Whenever this comes out, this will be very high on my anticipated list. So any thoughts, my people?
All right. I hate to be the buzzkill, but I'm not that excited at it. I'm not that excited for it. Why? Because I did not like the first one. I thought it was mediocre, boring. And, yeah. If they do make a sequel, I will just hope that I like it a lot more than the first one. But as of now, could care less. So,
Andrew.
No, I really enjoyed the first one. So I wanted a sequel. So I know that they were talking about potentially not being a sequel. And I'm excited that we're getting a sequel.
Yes.
All right, Double Nine. So, what's your other movie topic?
All right, my other movie topic is going to be, we have our first look at Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, so this image was released. I think it was released. I think this image was released maybe a few days ago. I think.
Days ago.
Yeah. And it is showing Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate. Now I know this movie is already getting some controversy because of this whole like thing with Charles Manson. And I almost said Marilyn Manson. What the fuck? With Charles Manson, and because it is a bit of a touchy subject to touch upon, but Quentin Tarantino is a great director. I think he'll do something quite amazing with it. This is for sure one of my most anticipated movies of the whole 2019. And we had our first look at DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. They look great, and Margot Robbie looks great as Sharon Tate. So I thought it was a nice image. She looks like Sharon Tate, which is good. So yeah, and I have no doubt that she'll deliver a great performance. So yeah, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think the picture is pretty great. I'm excited to see Margot Robbie in the movie. I'm excited to see everyone in the movie and see how they do. I will say in terms of like the controversy and stuff, I think what really helped is that they pushed the date 2 weeks before and the original date, because the original date, August 9th, would be exactly the 50th anniversary of Sharon Tate's murder. So it's a good thing it did 2 weeks before. That way, it won't be released on August 9th. And from what I read this a couple of days ago, actually. Or no, I'm sorry, like a week ago or so. That Tarantino met with Sharon Tate's sister, and they talked about the movie and stuff. And actually, from what I heard, she's like okay with it. Like she's fine with it. She's not mad or anything. Like she's okay with the film. So
okay,
maybe it won't be as controversial. I mean, I think people are just going to complain no matter what, but
yeah,
I don't think it'll be as controversial as we think it's going to be. So that's what I got to say about that. But Margot Robbie does look a lot like Sharon Tate. There's even one post I saw that compared a picture of Sharon Tate and Margot Robbie, and the comparison is pretty great, actually. It's very similar. So,
oh yeah,
excited to see the movie for sure.
Me too. All right, so yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Oh wait, Andrew.
Yes, me. Hi.
Thoughts.
It looks really good. I'm very curious on because I don't believe, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, or anybody can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't believe they announced who's playing Charles Manson.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think they announced that yet.
I'm interested to, one, see who plays Charles Manson, and two, how this all will incorporate into the story, because, I mean, it seems like Sharon Tate's going to be a pretty big character in the movie. And for those who don't know, Sharon Tate was murdered by the Manson family. And I believe she was Roman Polanski's wife. He was off filming somewhere, something somewhere, and that's when it all happened. And the thing that
she was pregnant and everything.
That's what sucks. And I remember I talked with my dad. Like I asked, my dad, talking to my dad, and he was like, yeah, no, what pretty much happened was the Manson family expected somebody else to be there, and when they went there, they were looking to kill the one person that they were looking to kill, but they saw Sharon Tate there, and they were convinced that she was hiding the person that they were looking for, so they murdered her anyway. So, I mean, the Manson family's all fucked up, but now I'm very interested to see who's going to play him, and how he and Sharon Tate are both going to be incorporated into the story.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew. So if you have any movie topics, you go ahead.
I actually got a few.
A few, you say?
Yeah. Okay. I got a couple updates. I'm not really looking forward to reviewing these movies. I'm gonna be honest, because they're all garbage.
Garbage.
Yeah, no, seriously. And I'll get this one out of the way. This is easily one of the most, probably the most disappointing movie I've ever seen in my life. and I mean ever. It was supposed to be the greatest movie of all time.
I know what he's about to say. I know what this motherfucker's gonna say.
And it just wasn't the greatest movie of all time. It was actually pretty bad. That is Duck Duck Goose.
The masterpiece known as Duck Duck Goose.
No, it is not a masterpiece. It's far from it. And honestly, when I first saw it, I was in such denial. I'm like, all right, it could have been a lot worse. But the more I thought about it, the more I just didn't like it. It's pretty bad. This movie kind of left me speechless with how bad it was. I mean, just the characters were just so annoying. The story, it felt like it went nowhere. The animation wasn't terrible, so I guess that's a plus. It's not as bad as the Emoji Movie, also a plus. Definitely not as bad as Norman the North. But I just couldn't get into the relationship between the two ducks and the goose. It just wasn't working for me. The music kind of pissed me off. Everything about this movie just pissed me off. I give this movie a D-. It's definitely. There's a reason it's on Netflix. Speaking of Netflix movies.
Oh shit.
I don't know why I watched this movie. Well, I do know why I watched this movie.
I mean, you watched The Kissing Booth, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, no, I was actually gonna bring that up. I at least I'm not mad about watching this one as I am watching The Kissing Booth, because The Kissing Booth, nobody saw it fucking before me. I just decided to fucking put on The Kissing Booth. Don't know why. Probably one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in my life. But with this one, people told me how bad it was, so I go, you know what, fuck it. Let's check it out. I need to start watching some bad movies so I can have a credible worst list. And that movie is Game Over, Man.
Oh, Jesus.
You seen it?
It's my worst movie of the fucking year.
Oh, it's my second least. I still hate Kissing Booth more. But Game Over, Man is one of the most unfunny comedies I have seen. It's probably, other than Dirty Grandpa, I would say it's probably the worst comedy I've seen in quite some time. Other than Dirty Grandpa. I mean, Dirty Grandpa's in a fucking class of its fucking own. And
that's not a good thing.
Yeah, and but this is like, okay, so if we're talking about worst comedies of the decade, Dirty Grandpa is 1. This is number 2. This movie it's so, I didn't like how mean-spirited it got at times. And
it got very mean-spirited.
Yeah, very mean-spirited, but the logic is out the fucking window in this fucking movie. There are so many things that happen by coincidence, and Adam Devine gives one of the worst performances I have seen this year. And I don't know I don't know who the other two are, but the two things that really piss me off the most about this movie is they try to capitalize on two things, and it's so blatantly obvious they're using that to get people to like it, but it just doesn't work. They're trying to use, how it's okay to come out in this day and age, how it's okay to come out as gay or bisexual or whatever, but in this instance, it's gay. And they try to capitalize on it, but they kind of treat it as if it was a joke, and it just ultimately doesn't work. They also try to use the Me Too movement as a way to, I guess, get people to like a character or the movie, and that, again, didn't work. And it was so blatantly obvious that didn't add to anything to the story, that it just they just used it to get people to root for the movie, I guess. These have some of the most pointless and worst cameos I've ever seen, ever. Why did Steve-O show up in the movie for all of 5 fucking seconds?
Why did Shaggy show up all of a sudden?
Yeah. Don't know why. There's nothing good about this movie. This is 100% an F. They're like...
There's like nothing good about it.
None of the jokes are funny. It's so mean-spirited, nonsensical. Just the protagonists are so stupid, but the antagonists are so much worse. You know how, like, you got a bad hero when you want the bad guy to win? I just wanted a big atomic bomb to just drop on that building and just kill everybody, because that's how much I hated everybody.
Just kill everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is an F. And my third and final movie review of the evening. Oh, boy. It's Status Update.
Dear, why did you watch this?
Because I needed something to put on my worst list.
Did Kevin force you into this again?
No, Kevin. Disclosure: nobody forced me into watching either of these movies. I was 100% sober for watching both of these movies and making the choice to watch both of these movies. Oh, nobody forced me to do anything. Yeah. Status Update.
Is a movie.
Yeah, and I kind of don't want to say it's like a really bad Disney movie, because that's an insult to Disney movies. Like, legitimately, it is. But that's the best comparison I could. It tries so hard to be like a Disney movie. It's like a PG-13 Disney movie, I guess is the best way to describe it. You got Ross Lynch, who starred in Disney. Like, he got well known from Disney. Mm-hmm. And Olivia Holt, who also got well known from Disney. They're like getting, I don't want to even call them Disney Channel rejects, because they're not Disney Channel rejects, but they're getting like Disney Channel alum to like come to this movie. Greg Sulkin was in this movie, and I found out through him from Disney. Like, I was half expecting like the Sprouse brothers and Raven Simone to be in this movie. like I was 100% ready for the Cheetah Girls to come, like, singing, and Zac Efron to be in this movie. And, like,
Zac Efron out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, like Miley Cyrus. I was expecting all those guys to come back, but no. This movie is basically about Ross Lynch's character gets his phone breaks, so he goes to the mall and goes to this really creepy weird dude. And he gets this app called Universe, and whatever he puts in that app comes true. And it's just so cliched, so predictable. Everything is just not funny. The worst character, though, was the fucking music teacher. Oh my god. So there's like this big concert that they have to perform. And right before they are about to perform this big concert, this big show, the fucking music teacher goes, "You guys are going to be absolutely terrible. I have no faith in you." I go, wow. So amazing. This movie's also enough. I definitely definitely felt like torturing myself, I guess, in the past week.
But why, though?
I don't know. You're asking the same guy who watched Dirty Grandpa and Norman the North in the same day. I don't know.
What the fuck?
I watched Snatched and Fist Fight in the same day last year. Don't know.
You control this man, Diego.
I do not.
I make my own choices. I'm a big boy. I don't know if I'm going to do a terrible double feature as funny as I think it would be. I just don't think I have the fucking ambition to do it.
Oh dear.
I'll do it when I hit 100 subs on YouTube. I'll watch any two fucking bad movies anybody chooses.
All right, so that concludes the topics of movies. Now we're on to television. Now,
bitches.
I only have 3 TV topics tonight.
I actually got quite a few, I think.
All right, so the first TV topic I want to go over is actually a review. of a premiere.
Oh.
So Better Call Saul season 4 premiered on Monday.
Ooh.
I saw the first episode and I want to talk about it. Now, I won't go into spoilers or details of what this episode was really about because it is a spoiler that happens in season 3. So I will just tell you my thoughts and how I think the season is going to be. This was, in my opinion, a very strong season premiere. Better Call Saul is a prequel to Breaking Bad, and if you love Breaking Bad, I really think you would like Better Call Saul.
Are you saying I would like Better Call Saul?
I am saying that, yes. Better Call Saul is not only about Saul Goodman and whatever he's going through. It also contains other characters from Breaking Bad and some story arcs they had prior to Breaking Bad. So it's interesting in that way. And it's a really good show. It's really well written. It's really well acted. And the past 3 seasons have all been very good. There hasn't been a weak season or a season that just hasn't been bad or anything. They're all really top-notch, and they present a lot of what is great about Breaking Bad is presented in Better Call Saul. And it's not like Better Call Saul is really good because it's related to Breaking Bad. Like, no, on its own, it's really good, and it stands on its own. And season 4, what happens, how they deal with what happened in season 3, it was really fascinating. I liked the episode a lot. I'm very much looking forward to this season. I can't wait to see what happens next. And Better Call Saul is a show you must watch, especially if you love Breaking Bad. So, like myself. So, yeah, that's what I got to say about Better Call season 4. It is the first 3 seasons, I believe, are on Netflix. So, if you want to watch them and you have Netflix, I would recommend you do so.
Yes.
Okay. So, the next 2 TV topics I want to talk about are actually casting news. So, the next topic is regarding one of my favorite shows ever, and that is Fargo. So, so season 4 has been announced. Finally, we've been waiting for season 4 for a release date or anything. There hasn't been a release date per se. We know it's coming out in 2019, but there hasn't been a month or anything like that. But season 4, they already have one person who they're casting, who is going to be one of the main actors, and that is Chris Rock. Chris Rock in Fargo season 4, which to me is very interesting to say the least. Why? I don't mean it in a bad way because I do like Chris Rock a lot as a comedian. I don't think I've ever seen him in like a dramatic role. All I've seen of him really are comedies, and while I do think he's funny, I do think it's interesting that he's going to be playing a dramatic role. Now, as far as what the show is going to be regarding, Fargo season 4 is going to take place in 1950, and it's going to revolve around the Italian mob and the African American mob in Kansas City. So there's probably going to be a lot of tension there, and I'm really excited because like I said, Fargo is one of my favorite shows. I think it's such a great show, really well acted. It's very entertaining. It's also very unpredictable as well. All these 3 seasons are really good. So I'm expecting a lot from season 4. Just this brief synopsis, and as well as Chris Rock starring, and the creator of Fargo, of course, is coming back. I think we might have another special season here. So I'm very excited. And if you guys have anything you want to say about that, you guys can.
I don't have much to say because I haven't seen the show Fargo, but Chris Rock doing a dramatic role sounds very, very interesting to me, to say the least.
Yes. Can't wait to see how he does, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you, Andrew, have any thoughts?
No, I mean, I really like Chris Rock, and I was a huge. I mean, I love Fargo. I agree, it's probably one of my favorite shows as well. And I'm was very excited beforehand, but adding Chris Rock, I'm very interested to see how he does because like you, don't think I've ever seen him do anything dramatic. So I'm very interested to see how well he does there.
Yeah. All right, and the last TV topic I have for today is another casting news. American Horror Story Season 8 will be coming out next month, and Jessica Lange is coming back to the show.
That's one of my topics, boy.
Yeah, I am super. Oh, and also Emma Roberts too. She's coming back, but Jessica Lange is more
Jessica Lange. This is more important.
Okay.
Hey, she's really good.
Oh yeah, to me she was easily one of the best parts of the previous seasons of American Horror Story. So she was only in the first 4 seasons, and this is season 8, so she'll be coming back for this one. I'm really excited because, one, I do like the show a lot. I love Jessica Lange in the show. I think each character she's played, she's done a great job. I still have not seen season 7 yet. I've seen seasons 1 through 6, but not season 7. I don't know if that's on Netflix yet, but I will definitely see if it is. And yeah, not really sure what this 8th one's about. I know it's called Apocalypse. They announced that at Comic-Con. That's called American Horror Story Apocalypse. And I know it takes place in the future. But what's the show going to be about? Who knows? But I'm excited, and I cannot wait to see her come back. So, Double 90, what are your thoughts?
I'm easily excited for this. I haven't seen the show in a while, I will admit. But one of my favorite things about my personal favorite thing about the earlier seasons was her. I thought she was the best actor on each season. I thought I personally saw.
Yeah, she's a great actress.
Like, I thought she was like the best thing about all the seasons that I saw her in. She was amazing. Like, and I can't wait to see her come back for season 8. This might be my only reason to watch season 8, to be honest, because like I said, I thought she was the best thing about all those other seasons that I saw, and I can't wait for it. It's got me really interested as well. Plus that teaser, I don't know if you guys saw that. That teaser was pretty creepy with its imagery and stuff. So yeah. I am excited to see what they can do with this season 8.
Yeah, honestly, American Horror Story has crazy teasers and posters.
Mm-hmm.
Like the teasers, I remember for Freak Show especially. Like the teasers for that were like scary. Remember before it was coming out, we were like, "Oh my god, this season's gonna be insane."
What's it insane? I haven't seen that one yet.
Freak Show? Yeah, that's a really good one. I think my favorite might be season 3, maybe.
The Coven?
Yeah.
I think my favorite, honestly, is season 2.
Mine's season 1.
Season 2 is really good too.
I think what really did season 2 for me, I loved both James Cromwell in that season and what's his face?
Evan
Spock.
Peters?
No, Spock.
Zachary Quinto.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Zachary Quinto was also fantastic. So I think those two just elevated the season. While I mean, both seasons were, the 3 that I've seen, are great. That just for me personally.
Yeah. All right. So that is all my TV topics. So Double 9, if you have any TV topics, go ahead and say them.
Yeah, boy. So here we go. I had 4, but now I have 3. 3 TV topics. All right. So the first one, I got a bit of casting news myself. So, So CW has found its Batwoman.
Oh boy.
And Ruby Rose will be playing Batwoman on the CW. If you don't know who she is, she was in Origins of New Black. That was like her breakout thing. She's also appeared in movies like Triple X, Returns of Anna Cage, Resident Evil, The Final Chapter, and of course John Wick Chapter 2. And she's going to be appearing in the Megalodon this upcoming Friday. I have personally, from the stuff I've seen her in, I've liked her in. Sure, some of the movies she's been in are not the best, but she's definitely been the better part of those movies. But I am interested to see what she'll do as the character of Batwoman. I do think this is very interesting. They got a somewhat mainstream actress to play this character, which is a very rare thing with the CW shows. So I am quite interested to see where they could take this character, because I hear her first appearance is supposed to be in the annual crossover episode. So I am excited to see what she'll do. So this casting news does get me a bit excited about it. So yeah, I'm all for it. I know Diego doesn't watch any of these shows, so I guess I might as well just move to Andrew about it.
No, I mean, I like her too. I mean, I haven't seen her in a whole lot, but she's good from what I'm seeing. So I'll definitely I'm confident she'll do a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why a lot of people said she was the worst part in John Wick Chapter 2. Like, I don't see what was wrong with her performance, honestly.
I love John Wick Chapter 2. So.
Yeah, I thought she was, like, one of the best things about that movie.
So did I. I was surprised.
Everyone says she was overacting, even though she doesn't say it that much in the movie.
Want to know what's
In
overacting?
the movie, she only speaks with like her hands.
Exactly.
Want to know what's overacting? The candy bar girl in
The Purge election year.
That's overacting.
Yeah.
All right.
I want my candy bar.
All right. So my next TV topic is going to be a trailer discussion. It's going to be a trailer discussion on Maniac.
Maniac. I saw this as well. The trailer.
Maniac is a new Netflix miniseries that's coming next month. It's starring Emma Stone and Jonah Hill, and this looks trippy as fuck. Let me tell you something.
Oh boy.
Like,
I'm sorry.
This looks like we're being taken into so many like mythos and like just kind of some sci-fi elements. Like, it looks really trippy, honestly. Almost something if like it's kind of like if how can I say it? It's like if Stanley Kubrick like had a mesh with trying to think of another director that does like these kind of like weird ass shit. I can't think of it for the moment, but it kind of seems like that in that type of a realm of it. And it looks very interesting. Like, the trailer had me hooked and, grasped into what was going on. And I can't wait to see what the full thing has to offer.
It looks very promising.
Yes, it does. And hopefully it doesn't disappoint.
And yes, I agree. And it's nice to see Emma Stone and Jonah Hill reunited for a very different kind of...
for a very different kind of something. I'm overall invested into the series. I can't wait to see what they'll do with it once it premieres. So now, since we just need a trailer for BoJack Horseman season 5, and I'm all good.
I don't even need a trailer.
I'm not even gonna watch the trailer. I'm just gonna watch the show when it comes out. Honestly.
So there's my thoughts on that. You guys got any thoughts about the trailer?
It's really cool. I think it looks really. I'm very intrigued to see the show. For sure. It's funny. At first, I thought it was a movie, and then I realized it was a show. I was like, okay, cool. So we get more hours and more detail into what this thing is really about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it looks, like I said, it looks very promising. It looks intriguing, and I can't wait. I think it looks like something that's going to be really special from Netflix.
Yes.
So.
Alrighty, bitches. Now we're on to
Andrew.
Oh, my turn.
Not yet. I still have one more movie. TV.
Wow, I can't believe this is happening.
Oh, okay. What's the TV?
I have one more. So Marvel's Daredevil has been confirmed. Season 3 has been confirmed for a 2018 premiere on Netflix.
Woo!
Oh, so it's coming out this year?
Yes.
Oh, shit! Nice. When's it coming out?
We don't know yet, but all we know is it's coming out in 2018. That's all we know.
Coming out between now and December 31st.
Now I'm not so sure of where it's gonna fucking land, because we just had Luke. So we're gonna get like one every maybe like 3 months. Think about that for a minute. So we get after. Actually, really think about this. Every 3 months, we've gotten a new one. March was Jessica Jones, season 2. 3 months later, it was Luke Cage, season 2. 3 months later, it's going to be Iron Fist, season 2. So now, maybe 3 months later after that, at the December, we get Daredevil, season 3. Now, that's just me with my, overthinking mind. But who knows?
I mean, it doesn't sound far-fetched, though. Like, if there's a pattern, then that could very well be it.
Yeah, so, who knows? Or maybe it could be just getting released in November. I wouldn't think that we do it too soon after Iron Fist Season 2, so I'm mostly betting if they're confirming a 2018 release, that I think it will be in December.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be between now and then, so.
Yes. So, damn, we got 4 Marvel. So, if it does make its deadline for 2018, we got 4 Marvel Netflix shows for this year. That's insane.
I'm going to predict, around October-ish, it's going to come out.
Oh, really?
Maybe around, New York Comic Con, they'll announce, oh, yeah, you're going to get this, next week.
Maybe, and that's awesome. That's what I originally thought they were going to do with the Punisher. Like, because remember when they were keeping that release date very, very secretly?
Yeah.
But what I thought was going to happen was at New York Comic Con, they were going to announce that it was literally coming out the next week after that. But remember, they had to pull out of New York Comic Con because of the whole Vegas shooting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe that must have scrapped their plans of that. So
who knows? Maybe they might do it this time.
Who knows? Maybe.
So we'll see. But I'm very excited regardless. Very, very excited.
Me too. All right, so that's my thoughts on that. Andrew, TV topics.
Okie dokie, everybody. I actually got 2 topics, 2 reviews.
Ooh.
The first, I finally finished another Survivor season.
That's good.
And I will say these are, I mean, I might do one more Survivor season, but as far as TV shows, I'll get to that in a little bit, but I may do one more. This might be the last one I do on this podcast. But I do want to say that every TV show that I do watch and season of Survivor I do watch, I will review on my channel because I really do enjoy reviewing those and doing them. So I mean, where I still got to do them, I have my own channel. But anyway, this season is season 10 Survivor Vanuatu, and now if you guys remember when I did one of the previous seasons, Survivor Amazon, the main twist of that was that it was tribes were split by gender. This twist returns, and this is gets a bad rap for just not being a good season. I think it's actually a pretty underrated season, to be 100% honest. I had a lot of fun with this season. There's a lot of characters that I really enjoy, including the winner, Chris. He is really good, especially seeing he was a big underdog. So basically what happened is at the final 8, I want to say. I'm not going to look it up, but I want to say it's the final 8. Basically, he was the last man standing, and he ate. And what he did was he survived and won, which I thought was pretty cool to see how he used his social skills to do. That made him a really good player. Twyla is also a great player, a great character and whatnot. And you got Eliza and Amy, who actually came back to return as fan favorites. You could 100% understand why they were chosen to come back as fan favorites. And there's a lot of just great characters. I like the narrative, especially with Chris's story arc. I thought that was really good. I give this, an 8 out of 10. I think this is a pretty underrated season. People should really revisit the season for those who like it. Now, this is a pretty big review that I got going. For those who don't know, at the beginning of the year, I started this whole thing where I felt like I needed to really strengthen my TV knowledge. There's a lot of TV shows that I felt like I needed to watch. So what I did was I started watching some TV shows. I started all the way back. My first one was BoJack Horseman. And this is probably going to be the last one I do on this podcast due to the podcast ending. And I will announce what my next show I'm watching is now. And that's going to take me a little bit. But this one took me a long, long time. I mentioned it a few times on the podcast. And that is Game of Thrones.
Oh, shit!
I know it took me a while. But, I'm glad I got it done sooner rather than later.
Yes.
It's 7 seasons. 67 episodes, I want to say, because I think the first 6 seasons have 10 episodes each, and then the last one has 7. There is,
yes.
The 8th one, which I believe is going to have 6. But, anyway, I've heard nothing but great things about this show, especially from Diego. The one joke between the two of us, and it's funny because he reviewed this show last week. I would always joke on him for never seeing The Office. Yeah. And now he's seen it, and he would always joke with me, never seen in Game of Thrones. or at least just I did see the first episode once a long time ago, but again, I didn't remember much about it, so I don't really count that. But yeah, no. So it's funny how we both kind of started watching them at the same time and started finishing them around the same time. So I really, really think that's kind of really funny. But anyway, this is one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yes.
And I talking with Diego as I was watching it, I would always compare it, and it might sound like a weird comparison, but hear me out on this, is The Walking Dead. And the reason I like to compare those two is because right around when I was watching The Walking Dead is when it was at the height of its powers. It's still like pretty popular, but I feel like these are the two most popular shows on television right now.
Yes.
But anyway, I like to compare it to The Walking Dead for also not only that reason, but they're both very similar in the respect is there's a lot of talking that goes on.
Yes.
And there's some action stuff that happens, but not as much as you may think. But the big, and I mean huge difference between the two. Why do I keep on fucking dropping this pen? Huge difference between the two shows is that I am fully invested in what Game of Thrones is doing, no matter what's going on. I love the action scenes. One of my favorite things in the movie is a big action scene, I want to say in season 4, at the end. And I don't want to spoil it, but it does involve Castle Black and the Night's Watch. For those who remember what happened around that time, you guys know what I'm talking about. That is probably the best fights action scene that I personally like the most, and probably just one of my favorite scenes. But what I loved about the show was the talking and the politics of it all, and how everybody thought and what they were doing to get themselves ahead, and what just was going on. I think, again, and I'm going back to season 4, and I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a very riveting scene involving a courtroom and Peter Dinklage.
Yes.
Again, if you guys seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the most riveting things I've ever seen. But with The Walking Dead, I could give two shits about what they're fucking talking about. And I only really care about when someone's getting eaten. And even then, it's not that much.
Mm-hmm.
The writing is so much better in Game of Thrones. 100 times better. There's a lot of deaths that happen.
And that's putting it lightly.
Yeah, a lot of deaths that happen from major characters. There's a lot of minor characters that die too. But the point I'm trying to make is every single character, no matter how big or small or insignificant they were,
they're fucked.
Not that. It always felt like it meant something. It always felt like it had a purpose. There was no death that I felt was for the sake of shock, like The Walking Dead. Or there was no death that, I felt like every death had a purpose to the story. Mm-hmm. I felt like every death was at the right time. And even though I would be upset that a certain character would be dead because I loved them, I felt like, all right, it was kind of their time. And it's just, like I said, it's one of the best shows I've ever seen. And all the characters, I will say, are so well written. Some of the best well-written characters I've ever seen. And I like to I'm going to use this character as an example. I mean, Peter Dinklage's character, Tyrion Lannister, is someone that I feel like is so easy to get behind. And the performance is great, but what I feel like makes him so easy to get behind is the writing. Cersei Lannister, on the other hand, I hate her. But I don't hate her character. I love her character. She's one of those characters that you just absolutely love to hate. And that's because of how well written the character is and how brilliantly performed Lena Headey performs. I love every single story arc of the characters, and it's just an amazing show. I felt like I was the one person who would never watch Game of Thrones, and I finally watched it. So if you haven't been watching it, what are you doing? Watch it now. It's like I said, it's one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. Only second to Breaking Bad. Again, and I haven't seen much, but still, like, I know a lot of people love this show.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the show. Easily one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's an amazing show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and is that everything for TV?
Yes, sir.
All right, so do we have any video game topics today from either of you two?
Nope.
Do not.
Okay, so now it's time for music. I only have one music topic today, and that is a review of the album Astroworld by Travis Scott.
Oh shit! Well, Caden,
I gotta listen to it.
Yeah, I still gotta listen to it too.
Okay, well, the reason why I'm talking about this, it's funny because I've never really listened to Travis Scott's music beforehand. The reason why I listened to this thing is because I've heard nothing but praise from this album, like everywhere on Twitter.
Were you not there the night Caden LaPlante was losing his shit over it?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like everyone I know who listened to it essentially has either really liked it or loved it. You know, it's been nothing but praise. So you know what? I was like, you know what? I'll give it a listen. Why not? You know, because I'm willing to listen to any kind of music, even country, which is my least favorite genre. But even then, I'm willing to listen to anything that is praised. You know.
Hey, Rascal Flatts' "Life Is a Highway" is a jam.
Yes, it is.
All right. So regarding the album, this whole album was about 58 minutes long in total. A lot of songs on the album. And as someone who's never listened to Travis Scott before, I got to say I really dug the album. I think it's really good. Very worthy of the praise. I can see why it's praised. The songs are very good. They're very very nice to listen to. Addicting. They're really well done. Yeah, there's like a lot of songs here for sure that I think are going to be on the best of 2018 song list. Like I know the general consensus is that the song Stargazing is the best song of the album. While I do like that song a lot, that's not my favorite of the album. My favorite is Sicko Mode.
I was about to guess that. I was going to say, he's going to say Sicko Mode, isn't he?
That song is phenomenal.
Dude, I heard Drake goes fucking hard on that shit.
That is easily my favorite. That's like in my top 5 songs of the year for sure. Like it's a great ass song. And there's a couple of really good ones. There's like Stop Trying to Be God or something. He just released a music video of it too, but that's a really good one. The last song of the album, Coffee Beans, another one that stands out. There's one with The Weeknd he did. That's really good too. So yeah, if you're into the rap genre, I'd say you should definitely give this a listen. I haven't listened to his other albums, but this album has made me want to listen to his other albums. So I will say go check it out if you haven't. I know I guess it's trendy or whatever, but you know what? I don't care. It's really good. Liked it a lot and would recommend it. So whenever you listen to it, let me know what you think of it.
I totally will. I definitely will.
What's the one song you really like?
Sicko Mode. Sicko Mode is what it's called.
Okay, cool.
All right. And that is all my music topics today. Oh, yeah. And by the way, I read somewhere that this is on its way to top Drake's album Scorpion as like the #1 album.
On the bill. Yeah, this is like #2 right now, I believe, right? Like on the Billboard charts, yeah.
With Scorpion being #1.
Oh, nice.
All right. And that is my music topic for today. So.
All right, well, mine. All right, we got one of my own music topic. Now, I have a very special original versus cover for today. This is going to be a triple threat bout. This is not going to be one-on-one. No, we're going to look at 2 covers against the original.
Oh, yes, I did listen to them, yeah.
A triple threat match. Playa, holla, holla, holla.
Yes, so we're not gonna just look at one cover versus the original. We're gonna look at two versus the original. So that song we're gonna be talking about today is "Across the Universe," and the original is by the Beatles. And the two covers we're gonna be looking at are one Jim Sturgis cover from the movie Across the Universe.
Whoa!
And Rufus Wainwright, I believe that's how you say his last name, who did a cover of that for the movie I Am Sam. Yes. So we're gonna be looking at.
I've never seen that movie.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen it either, but we're gonna get into the mythos of all three. So the original by the Beatles came out. This was on the Beatles' final studio album, Let It Be. And this has been noteworthy as one of the Beatles' best songs for good reason. It's a really good one. I like it a lot. It is a very good song. I do like it a lot. So, and like a lot of other Beatles songs, this has been covered a lot. But the two primary covers I do want to talk about is one, Jim Sturgis is one from the movie Across the Universe, and Rufus's Wainwright's one. So I'm going to get into Jim Sturgis one first. So Jim Sturgis cover was made for the movie Across the Universe, which that one has not just this Beatles song, but that one features a lot of Beatles songs.
Yes.
And this is definitely one of my favorites off of that soundtrack. I love the whole soundtrack as a whole. And to be honest, this might be a giant ass hot take that might get me murdered, but I prefer a lot of the covers that are on here to the Beatles originals, to be honest.
What the fuck? I'm just kidding. It's your opinion. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Not taking anything away from the Beatles. They're still great, but I don't know. I just find something more in these covers that are in this musical.
My heart is just broken a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But this is definitely one of my favorites off the soundtrack. And I do think Jim Sturgis' voice, he has a great voice, which I think a lot of people give him credit for. And I love how also in the sequence of the movie, too, how it plays out and stuff like that. Like, I think it's fantastic. So, yeah, I love his version a lot. And Rufus's Wainwright's version. Now, he kind of goes more traditionally like almost like the original version of the song, but he still puts his own spin on it. And I think he does a great job with the song as well. Like, I like how he uses the acoustic guitar in the song. I think his vocal work is very nice. Especially when he does, Sharu, especially that part of the song. So, yeah, he does a really great job, and I really like his cover a lot of the song as well. But for me, my personal favorite out of the three is honestly Jim Sturgis' version. I feel like it kind of spoiled it with the thing I said beforehand, but I don't care. But for me, why I like his version the most, I like the feel overall of how it is, honestly. Like, I love the feel of his version the most. We hear kind of like an open string at first like open string kind of thing at first, and we hear the acoustic guitar playing, and then he starts singing, and just the way of how it flows and the way that it is sung, it's just absolutely amazing. And like I said, once you it adds even more when you see the scene with the song and whatever. It just adds so much to me, and I love it so much. It's honestly one of my favorite covers of all time, and I just love it to death. It's such an amazing cover of the song, and it's my version out of the three that we're talking about here. So now I'm going to go over to you guys. Now, what are your thoughts on all three of these versions of this song, and which one do you prefer? Starting with Diego.
All right. Well, Across the Universe, I remember when we did our top 10 Beatles songs.
Yes.
I said so many times that there were a lot of songs that I wish were on the list. And Across the Universe did not make my list, but that doesn't mean I don't love the song. I, in fact, do love the song. I think it's a great song. There are just 10 Beatles songs I just loved more.
Yes.
I think as an original song, it's great. I've seen Across the Universe when it was released in 2007 in theaters. That was the first and only time I've watched it. I remember liking it a lot and really liking the songs. I actually agree with you. I love the soundtrack in that song too. Whether they're better than the Beatles or not, I'm not too sure, but I will say I can't argue if anyone thinks so or not, because they're legitimately really good. My personal opinion, my favorite song off that soundtrack is "Hey Jude." I think that cover is my.
Oh yeah, that, and especially how that plays in with the feel of the movie too.
Oh,
amazing.
Yeah. That was like probably my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah.
But and the other, what's the name of the other guy?
Rufus Wainwright. Wainwright, I believe that's how you say his last name.
Okay, well, he made a really good cover as well. I heard his cover, and it's very good. Different, but I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how many times we've done this original versus cover segment, but we've done it a few times.
Yes, we have. I believe we've done it 3 other. Yes, we've done it 3 other times. Okay,
so this is the 4th time.
This is the 4th time.
Well, it only took 4 times for me and you to finally agree, because I agree with you. Jim Sturgis does have the best version.
Yes. Oh, man, yes. So, and this is the first time you've actually preferred the cover over the original. I know this because you preferred the original in all of them. So here we go.
I agree with you, honestly. If I'm being honest, between the 3, now, it's a little unfair for the 3rd version because I've only listened to it for the first time today. So I can't say I can't compare that with the other 2, but I'll say this. The one from Across the Universe, I've listened to that version more than the one from the original.
Yes. Not
taking absolutely anything away from the original, but I actually think Jim Sturgis, I agree with you. He has a fantastic voice, honestly.
Yes.
A great voice, especially with Hey Jude, which, like I said, is my favorite off the album.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I think I like this version more than the original. I think, it's very emotional. It's very well done. And, yeah, he has an amazing voice, so it's definitely really nice to listen to. And again, it has that replay value that you want to listen to the song again and again. So
I rewatched the movie last week. I've been coming back to the soundtrack fucking almost every day.
I definitely need to rewatch that movie again because again, it's been 11 years since I've seen it, so I have to watch it again.
Yeah, sure. But nice to see we agree, good sir.
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah. All right. Now on to Andrew.
I have yet to prefer the cover over the original, and that trend is continuing. I mean, I liked, and again, like Diego, the first time I heard the 3rd version was today, but it still was really, really good. The one from Across the Universe is great in its own right, but I just personally, for me, have preferred the original.
Yes.
I mean, I just personally think that nothing can top that. But yeah, no, I mean, that's nothing to take away from either cover.
Yes.
And that's nothing taken away from not saying you guys are wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have your own reasons and whatnot. But honestly, there is one song I can think of right now that I do prefer the cover over.
Yes.
Of not just a Beatles song, but just a song.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
Hurt?
What?
Hurt?
No.
Oh, by the way, actually, I forgot you actually preferred the cover over that. So this is the second time. So we're 2 for 2 now.
The fuck's the name of the song? Metallica did it.
Whiskey in the Jar. There you go.
No, not Whiskey in the Jar. I was listening to that before today, but no.
God damn it! What is it then?
Turn the Page.
Oh,
that's a great cover. I mean, Bob Seger's version is fantastic, but Turn the Page I think is better.
Yes.
That's all I gotta say.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, if whatever answer you guys were going to go with, you have not been wrong because all 3 of these versions are fantastic. So,
and there's no wrong opinion.
Exactly, there is no wrong answer, no wrong opinion. So, I'm glad to see. Glad to see we enjoyed this. I might do one more. For the last podcast, I might do one more for this so we can end off the tie, end it off, and see where we can be. I don't know which one we'll do yet.
Choose one that you think that I would prefer the cover over, and see if you're right.
We'll see. All right,
I might do one of my own too, because actually I like this segment a lot. So I might do one of my own. See which one I.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll do one of my own too. I could be cool like that.
All right.
So awesome. So glad to see you guys had fun with this one.
Oh,
All
I
right,
just thought
nice.
of the fucking perfect one for Double Nine. I'm not gonna say it though.
Oh shit. Well, so yeah, that was my only music topic. I don't know if Andrew's got any music topics.
I do not.
Okay, so I guess that's the end of the podcast for tonight.
And that is the end of episode 34. Okay, so I want to thank you guys for again for joining me on this podcast. I want to thank people in the live chat. It was pretty active today. I know today wasn't like the longest episode or anything, but you know, I think we got a good amount done. So we'll be back next Wednesday, episode 35.
Only 3 more left.
Only 3 more left. So yeah, we still have to make the best out of it, and it shall be exciting. So you guys have anything you want to say before I end the podcast?
Yes. Thank you all for watching this podcast. I had a good time, doing the podcast as usual.
Of course.
You guys are the man, of course.
Oh, thank you.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about Andrew and the cat. Now, no, I'm kidding. But no, seriously, you guys are the best, and thank you all for watching this podcast. I had a great time as usual here doing it today. So yeah, hopefully next week will be just as great.
Yes. All right, and Andrew?
Thank you guys for watching. Can't wait for next week. These next 3 podcasts are going to be fan-fucking-tastic. I can guarantee that.
Yes.
Damn right.
And like I said, episode 35 will be next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, unless something changes. I'll do an announcement on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook.
Oh, the good old Insta.
Yes. And I'll see you guys next week. Until then, have a good one. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.